Hello, fellow humans, and welcome to Computer Science for Humans, where regular humans learn programming together. Today, we are doing some more learning. Specifically, we are going to learn, hopefully, one of the oldest programming languages that is still around and in use today. At least it's still in the top 20 most used languages, and that is Fortran. I am really excited about this. I've wanted to learn Fortran for a long time, and some of you might be thinking, why the heck does he want to learn Fortran if he hates Zig so much? And yeah, I am expecting Fortran to be difficult. This, I don't know what to expect. I've never used it before. I just know it's an old one, and yeah, this should be very interesting. I'm gonna learn lessons from my Zig video, and I'm gonna make the scope of this project even smaller because a linked list in Zig was a lot. So this time, I'm just gonna stick to doing some math stuff. We're gonna keep it mathy, at least at first, and then if that's too easy, we'll do more. But specifically, I'm gonna do an exercise that I haven't done in ages, which basically just identifies what kind of triangle you are giving it based on the length of the sides. Nothing super complicated, hopefully, and should be a good starting point for learning Fortran. If you're enjoying this or getting value out of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's dive right in. The first step with any language is to install it, specifically to install, in this case, the compiler, and go from there. So I am searching for that. I'm at the IBM website. It looks like it's their language. A little history of it, which is pretty cool. Do they have the compiler? Okay, apparently not. So let's see if we can find the compiler. So I'm already seeing that since this is an old language, it looks like it does the C thing where there's a bunch of different people who have written compilers for it. We're just gonna take the top one because, oh, I see. Okay. So right off the bat, this is complicated. Let's see. Oh, that scared me for a second. I have no idea what I just witnessed. Does look like this is the standard compiler. How many links do I have to click to get to the download? It's not that I don't know what these are, it's that I'd rather not deal with them. Let's try this. Oh, and it's another link. Okay, hold on. This is very confusing. Do I have to install the thing that will install it for me? Is that how this works? You know, I might just use the Linux instructions because I have Linux for Windows. So I'm starting out by installing Homebrew onto my Windows subsystem for Linux. I don't know why I haven't been doing this earlier. Linux is so much better for programming as far as command line stuff goes. So nice. We recommend that you install GCC. That's very interesting because that's exactly what I am installing. Okay, that installed. Just setting up my environment, don't mind me. Been a while since I've done this. Been on Windows for several years now. It would be nice if we didn't have to choose between Windows and Mac. I don't like either company. I don't like them at all. But unfortunately, video games work on Windows. If you're already on a Mac and have Homebrew, this is easy peasy. If you are on a Windows and you have Windows subsystem for Linux, install Homebrew, and it becomes easy peasy. If you're on Windows without Windows subsystem for Linux, I don't know. I think it would probably be really hard, or at least complicated. I was following a circle of links that never seemed to end. So you really need to know what you're doing. So now I can, in theory, start making some code. I don't know what Fortran's file extension is. Let's find out. Okay. It makes sense that an old language would have a bunch of different versions, and the different versions each have their own file extension, but it's .f. That was my guess. Let's go. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if Visual Studio Code has a plugin. I do not want to have to not have one. I need an example to look at, just like with the other languages. I'm gonna use ChatGPT to see some kind of a summary of the language, what its paradigms are. Okay, so it's procedural, which means it organizes code into functions and subroutines. Are those different? We may be about to find out. This is gonna be very interesting. A class's inheritance and polymorphism. I don't see it mentioning interfaces. Wow, that is different than I expected. I don't know what I expected, but let's just see if we can get hello world. See what happens here. Unindent all that. There we go. Okay, now we get to see some errors. I'm really curious what a 50s compiler message is like. Non-numeric character in statement at label, or in statement label at 1. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. So fixed form programming, am I understanding this, that the first 5 characters are like a command, and then, okay, hold on. I need to understand this. This is new to me. Let me make sure I have the right version. Oh, it's because I have .f. So because I have .f, that's fixed form. I could do free form. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Okay, let's see. Do I need those spaces? Is that what those spaces were not random? I got rid of them and that compiled. Wow. Okay, that's fascinating. Oh, right, I'm in Bash. What am I doing? Hello world. Okay, so this is fixed 4. Let's see if we can go here. I'm gonna duplicate this, and instead of triangles.f, let's see if we can do, I don't want to deal with macro. Okay, so I really kind of want to use the really old Fortran, 1977. That's intriguing to me. That is intriguing. We're gonna do it. So I need to see what that is. The code follows strict column-based rules. Okay. 1 through 5 are statement labels, optional, used for go-to. So anything in this space here is for a go-to in case you want to teleport there. If you're too young to know what that is, I'm too young to know what that is, by the way. A go-to teleports to the line that you tell it to go to. That's fun. Column 6 is a continuation character. So if you have something continuing on to a new line, you can do a plus on column 6 specific. Okay. And then the actual code is line 73 and beyond is comments. What? The comments are just like after a certain length of column. That's crazy. That's really clever, honestly. What's really interesting about this to me is the reason they're doing that is so that they can know exactly where each part of the program is. It makes it easier to parse through the commands when you're compiling it. If you know, like, the first 6 character or the first 5 characters are just a label, the 6th character is continuation or blank, you know, things like that. So this is very intriguing to me. Oh, there's no indentation is also what it means. That's crazy. I love that Fortran has built-in strings and C doesn't. I find that hilarious because I don't think C existed yet. When was C? Oh, no, C existed. Okay, C is actually older than Fortran. Never mind. I did not realize that. Logical I like calling it logical instead of Boolean. Calling it what it is instead of who it's named after. I actually like that a lot. Honestly, for such an old language, I feel like this is really straightforward. They don't have loops, it looks like, unless that is a loop. A do loop. Is that like a do while? They have a built-in read from keyboard. That's super nice. Oh, if you start with a C, then it's a comment. That's nice. This is actually one of the most sanely designed languages I have ever seen in my life. We'll see how it plays out. But on paper, this is so much simpler than I expected. And this is the 1977 version. I'm amazed at how straightforward this is. Okay, let's mess around. No, I want there to be a subroutine. Oh, I need to know the difference between subroutine and function if there is one. A subroutine does not return a value. All these years I thought they were interchangeable. That's actually a useful distinction. That's cool. Wow. The more you know. I'm not a huge fan of the all caps everywhere. At least not yet. We'll see. Good old screaming snake case. Also, there's no like colons or curly braces. It's just spaces. Oh, I guess it's just each line, actually. What am I talking about? Each line is its own thing. Oh, to return, you set the function equal to it. That's really funny because that is actually when you do a return statement, that's what's happening. The function in your program, when you run the function, gets replaced by the return value. It's just so literal. That's fascinating. Oh, that's really funny. And then what happens if I do this? Yeah, let's just see if that compiles. It did. Wait, which one am I in? Oh, I'm in the other one. Oh, I need to rename it. So I looked at the differences between the different versions of Fortran, and I'm going to be real with you guys. I think it got worse over time as they added features. The code looks uglier and uglier, at least from what I was seeing. It seems like they just wanted to make it more like Java and C a little bit too. Oh, I have to declare variables. Is it single versus double quotes? Is that the problem right now? Please tell me that was the problem. That would be hilarious. No, okay, that's not the problem. That is literally exactly what I have. So I don't think this will work. It doesn't work. So that is a real, apparently. I don't know why. So that worked. Is that what I need to do? 2 main programs. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. Oh, that's very different. Good example of why you can't always trust ChatGPT. See if this compiles. It does. Okay, so ChatGPT led me astray. This is why you can't ever trust an AI. Okay, so if I do this, you have to declare the function as a variable. It has to have the parentheses. In any other language, I would have recognized that. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Okay, let's see if that... Oh wait, I'm not using it. Okay, we're gonna rename this triangle kind, rename this triangle kind, this triangle kind, and then this is going to be equilateral, just for kicks and giggles, and then character times 5. Did that not? Oh, silly me. Wait a second, that's the wrong word. Ah, type mismatch. There we go. That's an error I like. Real 4 and character 5. I see they also have float issues just like JavaScript. I think that is standard, but good to know. Okay, so it worked with this. Why did it not work? Why can I not make it a character? Specify in the following ways explicitly by putting its name in a type statement. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I think it's funny that they compare it to C. C must have been real hot stuff back then too. They're like, C, we're like C, but different. A lot like how Zig, I think, is treating Rust, or how Rust treats C for that matter. I guess people have been trying to improve on C since the dawn of C. Oh, I don't want the C Fortran interface. Ew. Oh, that's actually like complicated. What you doing, man? I think it's funny that you only meow from up there. Oh my gosh. Well, it's all the same. Oh, whoops. Not supposed to be an equals. Oh, yep, that was it. There we go. And then just to make sanity check. Now I've got a nice little command to compile and run it. That was a lot. Things that I now know that I didn't know a minute ago. Basically, you have to declare things like a gajillion times. So I declare the function here, tell it that it's a character of length up to 20, and then triangle identifier is the name of the function, so that I set the function equal to blee, which, because I set the function equal to blee, that's what it returns when we say return. And then in the actual program, we set up triangle kind and triangle identifier, the function, as both returning a character 20. So triangle kind is then equal to triangle identifier, which is also a character 20, parentheses, which means it goes and finds the function up here and returns it, and then we print it. That is definitely kind of weird feeling that I have to set it's like the function almost is a variable. I'm actually going to look into that and see if the function is treated as a variable, kind of. Oh, it's so it knows what return type it is. Why can't it just read that though? Okay, so it can't return type. Okay, so now we want to add some of these. Let me look at the syntax for adding a function parameter. Okay, it looks like it's in parentheses, just like normal. This is surprisingly normal of a programming language, but I guess C is older than this, so I shouldn't really be surprised. Let's just see if this compiles. Missing actual argument. Oh yeah, that makes sense. 2, 2, 2. Oh, I forgot the types. I hate documentation so much, and this is why. I don't like documentation. This is it. Do I have to type in like 0.0? Yes, I do. Oh, that's weird. Oh, didn't like that. Oh goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna bother printing that then. I guess I can indent things, can't I? As long as I'm past line 6, column 6 rather. Look at that. And if I make this 2.1, wow. Okay, so we've got a working program now. I'm going to, since I've just realized I can actually indent, I'm going to indent because I like sanity. This is actually kind of interesting, kind of cool. We've got it working now. We have to define A, B, and C as reals, so it knows what they are. And remember, that's basically floats. I have A equals B and B equals C, and a simple if statement. Very clear to read, I think. Kind of a pain to type. But yeah, I'm gonna add the logic for the other kinds of triangle, and then we'll go from there. Oh, I see what it was. I forgot a dot. Look at that. How good. I just realized my face is in the way. I'm sorry, you guys. You haven't been able to see any of this. Let me move myself out of the way real quick. Should be able to see this now. Yeah, we have it working. So we can identify the 3 types of triangle. That's pretty cool. This was very simple. It's been about an hour and a half. I want to try to make a linked list. This might go very poorly, but we're going to find out. Unexpected program statement. What do you mean unexpected program statement? Does that go inside the program? I'm telling you guys, documentation's terrible. Even when it's okay. Like, this is pretty thorough documentation, all things considered. It's not very useful. You know, I think the problem with documentation is people write it under the assumption that it's going to be used like a book, where you read it from start to finish, instead of writing it like it's going to be a reference manual where you just open up to the page you need and look at that. I think that paradigm shift would actually make documentation pretty good. So, linked list, not worth the effort in this language. There's not pointers in Fortran 77. Also, apparently structures with the FDEC, this thing is not standard in Fortran 77, which makes sense why it's a special compiler code thing. So I am going to remove that, and we're gonna try to use just Fortran stuff. We're just gonna take this and expand it. Yeah. Oh, that's not, okay. So I thought it was like making a common, like defining a type. It is not like a struct. This puts those into common memory so they're accessible everywhere. That's what this is doing. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to add some user input. This might need to be a function. Okay, lots of errors. This is fine. And read. What's the syntax error? Unexpected common statement. So it doesn't like this. Let's see if just my syntax was wrong. Oh, I probably have to like end the common block or something. Do you have anything to say to future editing, Reagan, or to the viewers?
I thought.
Oh, do I have to do this over here too? It's almost like, what's the point if that's the case? Oh, I had to do the common before that. That's very interesting. And then because it's common, this can see it. So is common just like global? I guess common is just global, but you can kind of categorize them. Still a little confused on that. Not correct, but you know what? It is progress. Definitely not equilateral, but at least I know it's reading it correctly. 10, 10, 3. Yep, that was it. Okay, so the only problem I was having a minute ago was this common declaration. You have to declare the variables as common before you call the subroutine. Then in the subroutine, you have to tell it that A, B, and C are the common ABC. It's basically just global in Python. It's the same thing as global in Python. Okay, isosceles, cool. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing because this is actually really interesting. I'm gonna do some arrays and see how that goes. Need common block triangles of the same size as elsewhere. Well, I have an integer overflow. Now some array sizes seem to be different for some reason, but it did correctly recognize this as a scaling triangle. So that is a good sign. This actually kind of works, which is crazy to me. Now I just need to figure out why. Oh, I'm missing probably the declaration line, which I didn't need before because they were reals, which is the default type. But now I do need it because I'm actually declaring, or that's my assumption. Let's see if it likes this better. It does. Wow. 12, 12, 12. And look at that, making triangle number 2. Oh, this is exciting, you guys. Still got some weird number stuff going on, but no explicit errors. A, B, and C don't exist. So I guess that's why it's freaking out. I would freak out too if I had to add numbers that don't exist. So this is really cool. I put a label here, which is 10. It has to be numeric. You cannot have string labels, which stinks, but it is what it is. Also, I used 10 arbitrarily. The reason I picked 10 is because it's convention to use multiples of 10 when possible so that you have room to put other ones between them. So if you just use 1, 2, 3, then you might end up with loop number 1 here and then 2 here. And then later on, maybe you need to add a loop here, but you have to put it 3, and then it ends up as 1, 3, 2. You can imagine at scale, that would get very, very complicated. And then this label here prints the prompts, you enter the numbers, it puts the numbers into arrays. I like that they use parentheses for arrays, but I understand the square brackets thing from C languages, and that's probably better because you can tell it's not a function. But this looks more pleasant. And then I increment the counter for how many things we've entered. And then if we have not done all 5 triangles, then I go to 10, which is here. And that's pretty cool. I just think that's fun. Next, we're gonna do a loop, essentially a for loop, but it's not called that, it's just a loop. And you'll notice that there's a label involved in that as well, because loops are basically just go-to statements with a little bit of syntactic sugar to make it easier to write. So now we've got a loop. This is how it works. So do 20, this is saying do loop number 20, or rather the loop that ends on 20, from I equals 0 to I equals 4. And by default, it adds 1 to I each time. You don't have to call it I, you could call it anything you want, pretty much. And then we just do the thing where we print it. We print the triangle information. I just changed it to access it from the array and use I to tell it which one to read from. So with some luck, this should print all 5 of the triangles, and it should be cool. Well, not quite. Invalid form of array reference. Oh, I have to do it in a variable. That is a little bit obnoxious. You know what's funny is I almost did this just to be consistent, but it turns out it's required anyway. Whoop, I messed something else up. Unexpected data declaration statement. Ah, Fortran uses 1-based indexing. That is good to know. So it's 1 to 5. So all these years, I was always under the impression that we use 0 indexing because that's been the standard for time immemorial. Fortran's been doing 1 indexing since 1977. I feel so betrayed by history. Why did I not know this? Yeah, 0 is less than 1. I should read. So I'm just gonna try to do every combination of triangle. So it doesn't quite work because it misidentified the equilateral triangle. A little odd, actually. But other than that, it's working, which is really cool. 111 is registering as isosceles, but all the other ones work just fine. Okay. So looking into it, it looks like it might have to do with the way floating point numbers work. If you happen to know what this error is with all this, where if A, B, and C are all 1, then they are not considered equal. If you know why that's happening, I would love to know in the comments, but I'm gonna call it a day here. I've been doing this for hours at this point. So I'm gonna call it. I'm pretty pleased with this. I did not expect to get this far, to be honest. This is cool. I might have to go back to some of the other languages I've done and do this program just for more accurate kind of comparison. But this has been good. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. Don't forget to press the YouTube buttons down below. And if you want to support the channel, I also write fantasy books and Pathfinder and D&D splat books. I've got those linked in the description below if that's something you find interesting. Regardless, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, I'll see you later. Which way am I going? Just pretend I left. Oh.